and welcome to E-Magazine. I'm your host, Brenda Nyamichaba. With the growth of the social media platforms, a lot of business opportunities have come forward, allowing influencers to create all sorts of partnerships with companies who are utilizing the social media space to push their products and services further. Now in E-Magazine today, that is exactly what we're talking about as we look into the opportunities and challenges brand partnerships bring through social media platforms. And the individual helping me to this conversation is the one and only Yummy Mummy, who's a digital content creator. Welcome on E-Magazine today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming through. How's your day?
My day has been okay.
Yeah.
I unfortunately was attending a funeral service of a long-time friend, so I'm a bit sad, but you know.
I'm so sorry, but I'm happy that you managed to make it for the show today.
Yes, really happy to be here.
Now, Yummy Mummy, yes. I just love that name. What's the idea behind it?
I also love it. Yummy Mummy is like a tier of existence. It's a phrase that's used commonly around the world, so it's not just me. There are many Yummy Mummies that exist, but basically it refers to a mother who like owns herself and feels beautiful in the new body that she acquires when she becomes a mother. You know, when you become a mom, it changes you, sis. It changes you, yeah.
I can imagine.
But it's like it just refers to somebody who's confident, who's beautiful, who just like owns herself and owns her space as a woman, as a mom. So when I saw the phrase online, I was like, that's exactly what I want to be. I want to be the Kenyan Yummy Mummy.
I feel like it defines who you are.
Exactly,
I'm seeing that character right now. Now, obviously, you've been in the social media space for quite a long time. You know, you're a social media influencer.
Yeah.
And, you know, the fact that we're talking about brand partnerships, I just wanted you to explain to me what are brand partnerships and what exactly do they entail and how they work.
Okay, so what makes an influencer is the fact that you have an online following of like a huge amount of people, anywhere from like 10,000 to millions and millions.
Yeah.
And basically your audience like you. Your audience follow you because they like the kind of content you produce, but more than that, you're not just a celebrity to them, you are almost like a friend. You have a relationship with them, they grow to trust you.
Okay.
So what makes you an influencer is the fact that you actually influence their decisions. For example, I'll go somewhere to eat and I'll post what I'm eating, and so many people will ask me, what are you eating? Where did you get that food? You know, where did you get your shoes? Where did you get your carpet? Where did you get your, you know, where do you shop for your kids? That kind of thing. So your audience looks to you for advice. Your audience looks to you for, you know, recommendations of where to get things, you know, what services to procure, things like that. Okay. So brand partnerships come along when now brands want you to collaborate with them for you to push a certain product or a certain service that they are selling. Say, for example, it's this watch, for example. So let's say this company comes up to me and they say, hey, we have this new watch that we've launched and we want you to push it to your followers. So of course, there has to be some kind of correlation between my brand and their brand, because otherwise it would be very inauthentic. But if the two brands do coincide, then it's a perfect match, because for me, I earn money from them, you know, paying me to actually push the product to my audience, and for them, they get a direct line to my audience. And what makes it special, as opposed to just putting up a billboard or just putting up an article in the paper or whatever, is that I have a relationship with my audience. They trust me because they know that I would not mislead them. It's like we are friends, you know. If you're friends and your friend comes and tells you, this lipstick looks nice on you, you will trust them. It's not just like some random person on the street. So because my audience trusts me, if I tell them that this watch is good, they will know that, okay, she's already tested it, she knows it's good, so they will go and buy it. And that's why companies are so keen on brand partnerships online.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, how are you able to, you know, build your brand to where it is right now and have the following that you have?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm going to say it's God. I don't know. I think it's been a combination of many factors. When I first started my platform, my Instagram platform, where I have almost 70,000 followers, and my YouTube, where I have 30,000 followers, it was not, I didn't start them with the intention of becoming an influencer. For me, I was just an ordinary girl living an ordinary life and just sharing my life online. But I would share a lot about my struggles of, you know, motherhood, marriage, early marriage, because I had just gotten married when I started my channel, like being active on my Instagram. So just sharing like my day-to-day issues, you know, which many women seemed to relate with, because I'm the kind of person who, I was raised in a home where we didn't like shy away from talking about the things we're struggling with. Although in society, many people don't like talking about the things they struggle with. Exactly. But for me, I was like, I'm just going to talk about it, because that for me, I'm an over communicator. My husband can tell you. I over communicate. So for me, it was like an outlet, just be able to speak about, you know, what I'm going through, speak about the challenges I'm facing. And I think that is what appealed to many people. So people started following me. Exactly. And then before I knew it, now I had this following. And then before I knew it, now I was making money from it. And now it's my full-time career,
Wow.
literally.
And how long has that been for you ever since you started your YouTube channel and started sharing your content out?
I think I actively started doing it last year in August. Yeah, and by then I think I had like 10,000 followers on Instagram, and I had just started my YouTube channel.
Okay.
But that's when I was actively like, okay, so this is a real thing that people are genuinely interested in hearing what I have to say.
Okay.
People actually want me to create content about certain things. People are interested in hearing my opinion about certain things, and that's when I actually started actively doing it. So I think it's been about 10 months.
And did you find yourself getting a lot of brands coming to you to ask for partnerships early on getting into it?
I would say it's been up and down. At the very beginning, not as much, and at the very beginning it was more me reaching out to brands to tell them, hey, you know, I can partner with you to sell this product, I can partner with you to, you know, promote this service. And initially it was like, it was very, very slow in terms of you know, it picking up, but like 2-3 months into it, I found that now they started to gravitate towards
you. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how they just say kizuri cha user. I think the more you do it, and you know, of course, the more brands you work with, the more authenticity is given to your brand. Like they see, oh, you've worked with this huge brand, you work with her brand, so she must be legit, kind of thing, you know. And the more your following grows, the more they're like, okay, there are people who are listening to her, there are people whose attention she has. And then now, I mean, I wouldn't say it's easy, but definitely a lot easier. Like now
the hang of it.
Exactly, I've gotten the hang of it. And in fact, most of my brand partnerships are not me, I've gone out to them, it's them coming to me, because they see the value of influencing, they see the value of social media and being able to speak directly to my audience, and they are willing to pay money to get that.
Great. Yeah. Now, these brand partnerships that you've been able to have in your, you know, content creation career, has it built your career and made it, or should I say, has it built your brand further than what it was before?
Like definitely, yeah, absolutely, 100%. In two main ways, I would say. One, as I've mentioned, it lends authenticity to your brand, because when you work with a big brand, let's say a Nivea or a, you know, I don't know, you know, big brands, you're able to see, you're able to know. Like people are able to see, like, okay, you know, she's like real, you know. If this big brand, which is international, they trust her to push their product, then she must be doing something right. That's the first thing. The second thing is, of course, it's built my brand because I earn money from it. Like I literally, this is my bread and my butter, brand partnerships, and of course just earning money online, like directly from YouTube and stuff like that. But because it's my bread and butter, it literally helps my brand grow by enabling me to create better content. So for example, because I'm paid, I'm able to, let's say, buy better equipment, I'm able to pay for photo shoots, I'm able to, I'm able to like actually do things which continue to make my content better, which in turn grows my audience, which in turn grows the kind of brand partnerships I can get. So it's like a self-enforcing cycle. Yeah.
And when you first got into it, did you face like a lot of challenges? Oh, it's very easy for you. It was just like something
I wouldn't say
that.
Yeah, it's not, for me, I honestly felt like it came naturally to me because I'm just such a talker. Like it's for me, it was actually quite simple because I do everything on my phone. This is the beauty of social media. You don't need to invest everything. I shoot my videos and my photos on my phone. I edit on my phone. I upload on my phone. Literally, you see me with my iPhone. It's everything to me.
Start small.
Exactly, right? You can literally. That's what encourages me about social media is like you don't have to have this huge, you don't have to have a studio, you don't have to have what, you just, wherever you are, whatever you have, you can use that to create content. And if the content itself is good, people won't matter that the production is not like, wow, there are so many transitions and like, exactly. If what you're talking about is something people care about, then, you know, it's easy for you to be able to make it. So for me, I didn't find it that challenging. I was just shooting in my house with my phone, which I still do, shoot in my house with my phone. It wasn't that challenging, honestly. Probably what was most challenging is like now putting myself out there. You know, like with being on social media and with being in a public space, of course, there's all the criticism that comes with it. There's all the naysayers, there's all the haters and whatnot. There's the trolls, which nothing prepares you for that. But, you know, that one we just deal as we go along.
Which will come to actually, you know, obviously you put your life out there, you have your family on your social media platforms. So something I also want to talk about, but we'll do that later on. You had mentioned about always making sure there's a correlation between the brand you're working with, right?
Yes.
Now, I just want to talk about, you know, not every influencer is very consistent with the type of brand they're working with. But do you think that's something important, having a certain consistency, because in the long run, it kind of defines the brand?
Absolutely, 100% it must, because the thing is, like I said, your audience have grown to trust you. and they know you. You see, it's not, they don't sort of as this person who is not, they can't, an untouchable. To them, it's like they're your friend, kind of, because they know so much about your life. And because they know so much about your life, they're able to see when there's something you're really, really not, you actually can't be affiliated to. So for example, a lot of my content is about motherhood, marriage, parenting. It's like, you know, being a young wife and what. So it would be so strange for me to suddenly start promoting a nightclub when my audience never see me going out to nightclubs. Then now tomorrow I start saying, you know, it just would not make any sense. So it definitely matters. And what actually helps a brand actually sell online is being able to pick an influencer who like the brand values and the influencers brand values can actually correlate, you know. Otherwise it's not a match made in heaven, and it definitely will not work. Then you'll find brands saying, no, influencers don't work, you know, it doesn't. But it won't work if you don't pick the right influencer for you.
Okay. Another thing that comes up is, you know, obviously we you know, your followers, we look up to you when you're, you know, trying to push a certain product. Let's say maybe it's Dato or a certain skincare product. But how do you make sure that your audience kind of believes you, in the sense that you're actually using that product? How do you assure that when you're advertising a product or just standing for a certain brand, your audience believes that you use that certain product?
I don't need to make them believe me. They already believe me. You see, because they know me. They know me as a person. And that's why it's important that I only work with brands who they know are consistent with my messaging, you see. So if, for example, let's say my daughter, she's still in diapers and they see me using Pampers all the time. Now, if tomorrow I suddenly come and bring her diapers, they start telling them, oh, you know, my daughter has been using this since, you know, she was 6 months. They'll be like, no, we've seen you using these other diapers, you know. So for me, you see, it also, like, you have to really be careful about how you maintain that relationship, that trust relationship between you and your audience, because that trust is everything. With that trust, it doesn't matter whatever it is that I try to sell to them, they know that I would not mislead them. They trust me. It's like the way you go to your mom. Like if your mom tells you, you just know she's not trying to lie to you. Like why would she try to dupe you, you know?
Very true.
Exactly. So my audience knows that I'm not lying to them. They know that I care about them as much as they care about me, and they know that I would not intentionally mislead them. Yeah.
So when it comes to you deciding, okay, let me put it this way. How do you decide the kind of brands you want to work with?
You know, the way it works, it's not really that you decide, because for now, where I am in my career right now, a lot of the brand partnerships I work with, a lot of the brands that I work with, it's them who have approached me.
Okay.
But for me, I've been fortunate enough, and I don't know if my audience can be able to like back me up on this, but I don't think I've ever worked with any brand that I felt like, okay, no, this is such a stretch, you know, kind of thing. Because a lot of the brands I've worked with are like things like personal care.
Okay.
So if it's, for example, a brand which I have used forever, it's so easy for me to sell it, because it's not, I don't even have to go out of my comfort zone to sell it. It's something that I was using already. It's just that now I'm being paid to tell you that I'm using it, you know, kind of thing. But I choose it based on I mean, what is this company like? What is this company selling? Is it something to do with kids? Probably I will go for it. Is it something to do with like things I care about, like, you know, hair, dreadlocks, use natural products. I like natural products.
It has to be something you relate to.
Exactly.
As well.
Things to do with like plus size clothing, plus size woman. So I wouldn't now start selling, you know, like small people's clothes. It would be awkward, you know. So I just, as long as it's something which I feel is consistent with my brand values, I go for it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm loving the conversation we're having, but unfortunately, we're going to take a short commercial break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we're going to get more into details about, you know, brand partnerships and the kind of benefits they have for you through the social media platforms. Don't go anywhere. We're watching E! Magazine. I'll see you in a few.